When I think back to my performance throughout this English course, the first thing that comes to mind is how nervous I was at the beginning. My first impression of my overall performance was honestly mixed. I could understand many things, but expressing my thoughts in English felt quite challenging. At first, I often worried about pronunciation and grammar, and sometimes I lost confidence when speaking in front of others. But as time went on, I started to see small progress in myself, and that made me realize how much I've grown. The most challenging part of my speech performance was definitely speaking fluently without too many pauses. It was difficult because I tend to translate from Indonesian to English in my head before saying something, which makes me slower and sometimes confused. But through practice, I learned to think more naturally in English, and that small shift helped me a lot. From this experience, I think the most valuable thing I learned is that progress takes time and consistency. I discovered that confidence doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from trying even when you're not. The moments that made me feel most proud of my effort and progress were when I realized that my vocabulary had grown a lot, especially in learning words related to body organs and health. It made me feel more confident when reading, writing, and communicating in English because I could understand and use more words than before. Among all the chapters we studied, the one that stood out to me the most was Chapter 10, the urinary system. I found it really interesting because the explanation about how the urinary system works was so detailed and meaningful. I learned how important urine is, not just as waste but also as an indicator of our body's health. For example, understanding diseases like urinary tract infection or kidney problems helped me realize how vital this system is in pharmacy and healthcare. It reminded me that as a future pharmacist, I need to understand not only the medications but also the body systems they affect. This topic really connects to my future studies because it gives me a clearer picture of how the human body maintains balance and how pharmacists play a role in helping patients manage related disease. Looking back on the whole semester, I've learned a lot not only about English for pharmacy, but also about communication itself. I've improved my vocabulary, pronunciation, and confidence little by little. However, I still find it difficult to speak naturally when having direct conversations. Sometimes I hesitate or forget certain words when talking to someone, so that's an area I really want to improve more. In the future, I'd like to learn more about public speaking skills and expand my vocabulary. I believe those two things will really help me become a more confident speaker, especially in professional settings like a presentation or patient counseling. If I were to give myself a grade for this course, I think I deserve around 85. Sometimes I didn't actively participate in class activities like reading dialogues or volunteering to speak. It wasn't because I didn't want to, it was more because I was nervous and afraid of making mistakes. But deep inside, I was always paying attention and learning from others. I tried my best to understand and practice in my own way, and that's why I feel an 85 reflects my effort and growth throughout this semester. Overall, this journey has been meaningful for me. I've learned that language learning is not just about words, it's about expressing yourself, building confidence, and connecting with others. And even though I still have a lot to improve, I'm proud of how far I've come and excited to keep going.